Hey everybody, it's Fight Club Hubbs here.
And I'm Holland. How's it going?
And welcome to GVN's video game adaptation reviews. And Holland is my new partner this time. Nick is unfortunately unable to be a part of the series anymore. He really wanted to, but work is unfortunately just not going to give him the time of day. So our next video, and this is something I talked about at the last video when me and Nick saw Rampage, we're going to do Doom. And you told me when you came over today you've never seen it.
No, never seen it, and I'm not really expecting a lot, like, to be perfectly honest with you. But I guess we'll find out.
So, the history of Doom, 1992, it took the world by storm, released by id Software from the minds of Carmack and Romero. The Doom franchise is probably one of my favorite franchises of all time.
One of the most well-known first-person shooters.
Most influential game of all time, possibly.
I don't know, I'd fight you over that one, but whatever.
It is, okay, we'll say one of the top 5 most influential games of all time. But we'll discussion for another day. But a game that has probably been ported to more consoles than anything on the planet besides maybe Tetris. I own several copies. I actually own 4 copies of the 2016 game.
That one was good.
That was a really good game. I even got the Switch port, which is surprisingly really good. It's a technical marvel, to be truthfully honest.
If you say so.
Yeah. Hey, but anyway, so Doom the movie. It's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson opposite Carl Urban. Pretty much it's just The Rock going into space, fighting against supposedly monsters from hell. So supposedly he's gonna find out why.
Well, we'll find out what's going on when we actually get into the review of the movie. But I gotta say, I am a fan of The Rock. Have been since his WWF days. But
you said the F word.
World Wildlife Fund, no. But anyway, yeah, been a fan since he was a wrestler. Not the biggest fan of Doom, but I did enjoy like the most recent ones, and of course, I knew about it from back in the day. But I just don't have the greatest opinion of video game adapted movies.
No,
at all. So I'm not expecting much from this one, but I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised.
And it's a good idea that we talk about this movie, too, because right now they are shooting a new Doom movie with a female lead.
So, what, it was good enough to get a sequel? Or
no, it's a reboot.
Yikes. Alright, so,
we know how that works out. Tomb Raider!
Please don't tell me we're going to do that one next.
No promises.
Alright, let's just get to the movie.
Let's get to the movie.
A few moments later.
That was Doom.
Okay.
So,
all right.
On your first showing of the film, your first time viewing, I'm sorry, your commentary was wonderful. Please, tell me, what did you think of it?
Okay, yikes. I think the phrase disappointed but not surprised comes to mind. Right. If you haven't seen if like me, you haven't seen the movie yet, don't. In like, very few words, that's probably about the best I could say. We'll probably get into, how good of a video game adaptation it was a bit later on, but just to talk about how good of a movie it was, the cinematography was horrible. A lot of the times, a lot of the quote-unquote action scenes, you couldn't even see anything that was going on. It had a pretty good fight scene in the end, but
the only good thing about the movie.
Yeah, I had to wait an hour and 40 minutes for that, and like I didn't even get a rock bottom or anything. So like,
no,
I'm supremely disappointed in that. One of the big twists to the movie is basically this is a movie about how Doom Guy becomes Doom Guy, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all well and good for a prologue, but a prologue shouldn't be an hour and 30 minutes in a 2-hour movie. So, yeah, I could go on into like the finer points of actual cinematography, like how shitty the dialogue was.
Semper Fi, motherfucker.
Or how
Oh my god.
terribly the characters were developed, like what character development.
All their development was
Hell.
literally just in their names that they were given to when they
when
had
they
the gun
basically
identified
started the movie, and how juvenile it was. It's like, I'm not expecting too much from a video game movie, but I
Come up
I
with
thought,
something more.
I thought Doom was rated M for mature. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't getting any of the maturity.
Oh,
in
we
this
had some
movie at all.
blood and violence.
You
but
have a lot of gore, and you have a lot of bullshit, but and plot holes that you could squeeze a big fucking gun through. But yeah,
overall, I would have
Ouch.
to say this was an hour, almost 2 hours of my life that I would like to get back.
why did I agree to do this?
Because, I don't know, you like to torture yourself once in a while?
You know what? Sometimes I will experience pain for my friends, and I suppose this is one of those
In the name of
opportunities
entertainment.
Because, I mean, so yeah, like when over half of the movie is so boring that you would rather watch this adorable.
We were
cat.
watching our cats fight over there.
I'd rather watch this adorable cat play with.
By the way,
his
special
cat
guest
friends.
commentary from Fluffy.
Yeah, Fluffy is here to make me feel better. So yeah, I would rather watch Fluffy go play with his friends than watch over an hour of the movie. So yeah, just that tells you kind of what's going on here.
Alright, so,
All right. All ragging on it aside, I think my single greatest criticism, not as like a movie, but kind of stylistically, is that why would you turn Doom into like your standard fare zombie movie?
it makes no sense.
That makes no sense. Like,
Even though they were trying to mimic the sci-fi horror aspect of what Doom 3 was, which came out about 3 years before this movie, I believe.
yeah. And
at least
you could see it, and you could see some of the references.
And the enemy design, the monster designs, were based
By the
on
end.
The end, when you actually got to see the tyrant model of the tyrant, which is the really big monster that shows up. The imp model, which was the disgusting looking half alien thing, and then you saw
Pinky.
the really really phoned in Pinky.
Yeah. Like, it all came together in the end, but then it was just rushed in the end. And
Rushed, and yet it took us an hour and 30 minutes for anything to happen. Really,
yeah, but the whole build up, like, nothing really happens. And it goes for like a whole lot of jump scares and a whole lot of horror scene zombie movie. Oh my god, he's turning and they don't know kind of situations. And that like I would expect that in a Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this pretty much was Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It
the
literally-
the other horrible video game movie
yeah.
adaptation of this same kind of style. It was almost the same movie. So,
I mean,
yeah.
the UAC base in Mars, the layout of it when they went through the arc, it looked exactly like
All it
Hive.
needed was a laser grid.
yeah,
Like, if it had a laser grid, it would have been like
and a
the
smart
exact
ass
same-
AI system.
and a
Talk
smart
back
ass
to people.
AI, yeah. And if the AI was controlled by or if the AI was controlling the whole quarantine situation, like, yeah, so
before
it's
we get into the video
incredibly
game
simple.
adaptation checklist, I would say, well, I have to get your thoughts. I'll just say mine real quick. The first person aspect moment of the movie.
Oh, the twist. We're going to actually talk about that.
Yeah, why don't we talk
Oh,
about it?
okay.
Because if you haven't seen this movie
Go for it.
by now, then you know what.
Oh well, spoilers.
Oh, well.
Spoilers bound.
Yeah. So they decided to, for whatever reason, because they thought they were paying homage, they decided to do a first-person perspective for about 6 minutes of the film. I remember because somebody counted this, and I remember it for like at least 6 minutes. Because after they inject chromosome 24 into Carl Urban's character, which, by the way, chromosome 24, by the way, has the properties of detecting whether you're good or evil, and if you're evil,
and mutating you accordingly.
Yeah.
You either become a demon or you become Doom Guy.
Mhm.
that's pretty much how it works. And or rather, that was their adaptation of Doom Guy versus the Demons, which is like Doom, which is what Doom is. They basically made it regular people versus zombies until this whole chromosome 24 thing comes into play and actually starts mutating people, and then it becomes the one character who's actually like an angel or some crap.
Yeah,
being superhuman, fighting a bunch of demonic, undead, deformed people.
and the fact that the chromosome 24 thing is what apparently defines the movie.
It was such a MacGuffin.
There's no gateway to hell. No demons coming over. No, it's a little test tube that you inject into somebody to see, and
it's a genetic mutation. It's like, and it just makes all of these stupid Christian references, or pseudo-religious references, to try to tie that in, to basically shine a bright neon sign in your face saying, "Hey, this is how we're adapting the Doom. This is how we're adapting the Doom story."
I have to say this real quick. In my last, I'm comparing two of the Rock movie video game adaptations starring The Rock. Rampage, starring The Rock, fighting against giant mutated genetically modified monsters. The movie Doom, The Rock fighting off an army of genetically modified monsters.
But that's not even accurate, because The Rock was fighting a bunch of zombies. They were zombies, and then it turned into, it was basically, and then they mutated into Resident Evil style zombies. So it wasn't even like really genetically mutated monsters. The whole genetic mutation, you say it drives the movie. I disagree. I think the genetic mutation was
it's the plot. It's what moves the plot along. I didn't say it did it well.
What plot?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Anyway, so this genetic mutation thing is more or less an excuse. It's just like, hey, we know that we didn't show any like real demons or talk about a gate to hell or anything like that, so we're just going to pass it off as a genetic mutation and use hell and demons as metaphors for this genetic mutation type of shit taking place. So that's how we're going to translate that into a movie. And doing all that is okay, but when you do it so ham-fistedly where you're literally like pausing the movie and telling the viewer, hey, we know this isn't actually Doom, but this is how it's actually Doom. And that's literally what you do during the movie. That just makes for a really terrible movie. So, yeah.
Okay, so
let's talk about how well it actually
adapted.
All
right, let's do the checklist. I'm going to name off some things that are from the Doom game. You tell me if you saw them anywhere. Okay, let's start off with the weapons. We saw machine guns.
Check.
We saw the BFG.
Kinda check. Because because they called it the BFG and it like did BFG things, but it didn't really look like the BFG.
The chainsaw.
Check-a-rooney.
Obligatory first-person perspective.
First-person shooter. I mean, I would rather watch a Doom playthrough than to watch that again, but still, they had it, and it was done very badly, but it was there, so I guess,
Okay, continuing on the checklist. Okay, so we got 3 monsters from the Doom universe. We got zombies. Well, okay, 4. We have the zombies. We have imps. We had the Baron of Hell. And we had Pinky.
Yep.
What do we not have? We don't have Cacodemons. We don't have Pain Elementals. We don't have Archviles. We don't have a Cyber Demon, because, let's be honest, I was hoping The Rock would transform into the Cyber Demon, but, that was very disappointing. No Spider Mastermind.
There's a whole lot of Doom enemies that
are
didn't
missing.
show up. But I mean, that's not something that I would hold against the movie as far as an adaptation, because in a 2-hour,
you can only show so much.
The span of 2 hours,
especially when you're trying to be a really, really bad Alien knockoff.
Yeah, it was Alien meets Resident
Evil. Is there any gateway to hell or anything like that?
Of course not. The Hell adaptation, it's present, and I don't think that you can have a completely faithful adaptation if you in movies necessarily. So I don't think the angle was bad, just the execution was hard.
Yeah. So what we also got was just UAC. We got Mars as a location, but all we saw was a bunch of dark, dank corridors that, honest, made me wish.
Not really.
It made me wish for the duct tape mod from Doom 3.
Well, yeah. So the location, it was more of like just a name, and then a bunch of random hallways,
and then
an
one
actual
one
location.
exterior shot.
But yeah, which
One
was
single
whatever.
exterior shot.
But
Yeah.
honestly, just from what I remember from Doom really wasn't much about location or like really set pieces either.
Well,
At least
for me, in the original,
early games.
for Doom 3, which is what this movie's based off, yeah, it's mostly dark corridors. Every now and then you did venture out onto Mars to, go from one building to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Doom 1 and 2, the environments were definitely, really nice, because, you had some really unique level design. You had some really nice, backdrops for sky textures and whatnot, which really made you get the sense of, oh, hey, I'm on a Mars moon base, or I'm actually in hell, or I'm in a cityscape that's, been invaded by aliens.
Right, but even in those earlier games, a lot of it was very, monochrome and red. I remember just a whole lot of red everywhere. So it's like, yeah, you're in Mars, red everywhere. So you're in hell, red everywhere. So, like, as far as the kind of environment of Doom, yeah, it kind of nails it, but it doesn't do it any favors by nailing it. Because, like, why do I want to watch just two people shining two random flashlights down a hallway where they're supposed to have lights, and they don't, and then action happens, and a whole bunch of people are wasting bullets, so you see muzzle flares, but you don't actually see anything getting shot. It's the oddest thing ever.
It's mind-boggling. Wow. All right, so
Don't watch this movie.
Yeah, to wrap this up, in a nutshell, poor video game adaptation, poor Alien meets Resident Evil movie.
You think it was a poor video game adaptation? I think it was
Probably one of the worst.
I've seen better, but I wouldn't call it. I would disagree. Well, actually, you go ahead and do yours.
Okay, I haven't seen all, and trust me, there are worse out there, and we will someday get to them. Trust me, we're not just going to be doing video game review or video game movie reviews.
Just get to it. Just get to it. Okay, poor video game adaptation.
Poor video game adaptation, bad movie. Skip it if you can.
Okay, for me, as a movie, it was a dumpster fire. Like, no, just no. 0 out of 5.
That's what I told you it was going to be. He's using my words to describe it.
And yeah, well, it was a dumpster fire, and yeah, it was absolutely terrible as a movie. As a video game adaptation, I have definitely seen worse. It is a mediocre. I think it is a mediocre video game adaptation. I wouldn't say it's like terrible, but I would say that they definitely could have done better. But it being Doom, and just what Doom is known for, there wasn't really, Doom itself, the source material, isn't doing it any favors to adapt into a movie. Mm-hmm.
Let's hope the reboot coming out in the next year or so will be better.
I'm probably not going to find out anytime soon.
No. We'll probably wait for DVD. All right, everybody, so we're signing out. This is Fight Club Hubbs.
Omega Nitro, a.k.a. Holland.
Peace.
Catch you next time.